hours of my life back.
Yeah, this is like if you let your grass grow long and then it's kind of cold, and I'll give you one last cut. This is when I'm going to cut the grass. Even though maybe if it does need to be cut, you just go push the lawnmower to get your frustration out. Then the neighbors look at you like you're crazy. Well, what are you doing? It's cold outside and you're cutting the grass. Well, I don't want to watch the damn Saints game. I know that. Listen, it was embarrassing against the Vikings, against the Ravens. I got the Vikings on the brain, kind of watching the Bills and all that. But no, it was embarrassing against the Ravens. But the Ravens are a better team. They're the elite team, I think, right now in the AFC North, where they're at, compared to even like the Bengals, Browns, and you look at the Steelers. The Steelers aren't very good, but they beat us. So where does that put us? Christian, we might be in a conversation like with the Carolina Panthers. Well, didn't they just fire their coach and stuff and kind of going in a different direction what the future might become? Before I get into the details, I always like the numbers when, and I'm going to give you one tidbit before I start. The magic number against the Steelers, we've only played them 16 times and we were 9-7. Now we're 9-8. We still have beaten the Steelers more than they've beaten us. I'm going way back to when the series started. But, when we scored 16 points or more, the Saints were 9-1. Well, we got 10. So now we're 9-2. So it just goes to show you, I don't know, can we get in maybe the 20s? We're a modern-day offense. Shouldn't we be able to score in the 20s? But it was the same song and dance, Ravens or the Steelers. The trifecta or the negative trifecta. Dudes might say, well, those stats don't matter. But I can tell you right now, we won't win another game if we keep doing this. We will not win another game in these three areas. It can be three, and you can have like 3-8. When I'm going to go with like third down offense and defense, because you got to possess the ball to win and make plays, so you're setting the tone. Well, like the Ravens game, but even worse, the Steelers had the ball 18 minutes more than we did. Okay, look at third down. This is what you want your defense to do. You need to flip this script. Okay, the Steelers were 9 of 17, 53% on third down. We were 3. That's 53%. We were 3 of 12, 25% on third down. Well, you're not having any kind of drives. So therefore, you look at the time of possession. That always correlates. And then you look, okay, old school, can you stop the run or can you run the football? What? That this is embarrassing. You can maybe do quarterback sneaks and have a higher average than this. A quarterback sneak in every run play. We had 29 yards on 15 rushing attempts, 1.9 yard average. That is embarrassing. Now, I know it's a different offensive line who's banged up, but everybody has players that get hurt. You got to step up, and who's going to do the job? So that was terrible, to say the least. Christian, they averaged 5 yards a carry, 217 yards, 43-yard average. Okay, then you throw in this. Well, I don't know. We might set a negative record here. I know it's not. I think probably one team probably was maybe minus 20 for the season. Well, we're trending in the wrong direction. Now we minus 12 for the season, which is dead last in the National Football League. We're a minus 2 for the game. So you're not beating anybody. I can tell you. And we've done this now in back-to-back games against the Ravens and Steelers. We continue to do that. I can tell you right now, it'd be a miracle if we win another game. I'm not talking about like playoffs. What? I'm about to win a game. We continue to do that.
You sound just like your former coach.
Yeah, Coach Mark. Like, well, what are you talking about? We're just trying to win a game. Yes, and right now I would say no. I can tell you right now, the Rams might be struggling, but I'm not picking the Saints to beat the Rams. Look at our offensive line. How are we going to block Aaron Donald? We just going to hold him every play? How about we just tackle him? And maybe the refs don't call a penalty every play. Because we had 10 penalties, 74 yards. Remember, I always tell you, 9 penalties or more or 100 yards, that's like giving up a touchdown.
Bobby, we
had 10.
They had as many penalties as they did first down.
Well, Christian, I'm glad you brought that up. That is terrible. 10 first downs. Should have 10 first downs and a half. Should have 10 first downs and a half. I remember when we shut out the great John Elway. I remember we beat them 42-0 in the Superdome. The Dome Patrol. You know what they held them the whole game? And they were embarrassed. I was talking to John about this. We held them like 9 first downs the whole game. And he thought, like, this is unbelievable. Well, we only had 10 first downs. I mean, so Christian, that all correlates to not winning football. Listen, the quarterback gets a lot of the glory. The quarterback gets a lot of the blame. This is what I say. Why not give Jameis Winston a chance now? Okay, Jameis Winston, going forward, you want to get paid and you want to show that you're the guy? What if you come in there and all of a sudden the team starts winning? Boy, that's when you got to accept the challenge. Not when things are going good. When things are rough right now, go in there and do something, and then you'll be rewarded. Andy Dalton would have a problem with that. He knows it's all about winning games and we're not winning right now. And it might be a spark. It might be something different. Now, I could say another spark, but how they ebb and flow the game. Taysom had 4 touches. He gained 1 yard. 4 touches, 1 yard. It was embarrassing. Now, again, who's on the offensive line? Like Kamara had 11 touches, 45 yards. The way we structured, if we do that, we're not winning anything. You know what I thought? Play with a lot of effort. Again, he's an overachiever on defense, Caden Ellis. Caden Ellis, again, had 7 total tackles. He had a sack. Quarterback hurt. He tackled for loss. He also forced a fumble. How can David Onyemata not get that fumble? What, he's going to jump over the ball? How about just, I don't know, his momentum? How about you fall on the ball? I don't know, ball's not bouncing right. It just looks at Christian. Boy, Vegas must know something that I don't know. You look, boy, we were all poo-pooing. Wasn't they right on about the LSU Fighting Tigers in Arkansas? What? LSU just beat Alabama. How can we only be a 3-point favorite? Man, it was 2.5, 3 points. What did that game finish? 13-10, 3 points. Whoa. Does Vegas know something? Well, I'm kind of looking. Remember the over and under win total? What they had it at 7.5? They're like, oh, what? Take the over. There ain't no way the Saints are gonna lose under. You know,
they're gonna lose money now.
Yeah, they're gonna win at least. You would think 8 or 9 games. I just hope we win another game. What do you? No, Christian, it is bad right now, and I don't see a light at the end of the tunnel. And I look at it, we don't have no future quarterback. It's not like we got all this money invested in Andy Dalton or James Winston. It's not like Russell Wilson or Kyler Murray, you know, with the Cardinals, Russell Wilson with the Broncos. They have to work out. We don't know who's going to be the future quarterback. I'm like, okay, James, you healthy? I think he's healthy. I don't know. Okay, you go in there and see if you can do something. And if he don't do anything, Andy Dalton, you get back in there. You know what? It's not working out, Taysom. I know you're not the most accurate passer, Taysom. We're giving you a chance at quarterback. We got to get some kind of production, but right now we're not getting it done in any area. Christian, I think you had it right, and I told you we can't give it like to the guys behind the scene, like the sideline report and all that, the game ball. Well, what do we call it? It's not the game ball.
Saints Radio Network MVP.
Yeah, MVP. No, we can't just keep giving it to guys behind the scenes. I'm giving it to Blake Gillikin.
Yeah.
Because Blake Gillikin stepped up. He had a 52-yard average punting, and he punted 5 balls. He had a long punt of 62 yards and 2 inside the 20. So then you know if all of a sudden you're really reaching and you're giving like the MVP to the punter. I mean, so that's where we at right now.
Never good, even if you give the MVP to the punter. I mean, look how many times you punted today. 1, 2, 3.
4, 5.
Yeah.
5 times, but you see, he was consistent. But he averaged 52 yards, 62 long, and all. So that's why we need to give it.
I know you said that. I'm just distracted by this Vikings Bills.
Yeah, the Bills.
It's a heck of a game.
Because that's a real game that we're interested in because we love football.
Yeah.
And it counts. We want our team to be relevant, and we really love football, and not be frustrated and pull out our hair, or you know. To tell you all of a sudden you're taking it out on your dog. Your dog doesn't know what's going on. Leave him alone and stuff. We get that frustrated. But Christian, look, if you look at Mike Tomlin, you know, we were talking about this, whether like Sean Payton or Drew Brees, can you beat every team? That's a big accomplishment in National Football League. Remember, they got over the hump when they finally beat the Ravens. Well, Mike Tomlin was 0-3 against the Saints. So he finally beats the Saints. Now he has beaten every team in the National Football League.
Great, glad to check that out.
And he's been there since 2007. But Christian, this is I had thought. See, the Ravens. I thought, well, if we can beat the Ravens, we're going to beat the Steelers. I said this, but I said I don't know if we can beat the Ravens because the Ravens are like a way better team than the Steelers. So and where they're at right now. So Christian, I don't know. The Rams might be struggling against us. So they're going to look at it. This is a game to get well. And Aaron Donald's going to look at an offensive line. I don't know, but maybe Jameis Winston might not want to come back for this game and be the quarterback. And then who wants to be out there? But no, it is very disheartening, very disappointing. This is the most disappointed I've been post Sean Payton and post Drew Brees, where I thought we still could be somewhat relevant. Remember, I said we can have a winning team. That doesn't mean we're going to win anything. And what I mean by a winning team, like kind of like what we did last year. We're 9-8 when the Cubs are going to the playoffs, or maybe get the 10 wins. Still not going to win anything. We're not even close to that right now. We're not even close to that. That's just very discouraging. And Christian, we just started in November. Who that nation? We just started in November. We're not even like December. Can you close the season strong to get into postseason? Right now, postseason, we're just trying to win a game. And it's very frustrating if you're a Saints fan right now.
Bobby, the Steelers had 5 20-plus yard plays today. The Saints had 0.
Yeah, and the Steelers, Christian, they were not noted, like you said, for getting big plays. That was one thing I said in the pregame. They were one of the few teams. I have to find this number about not having big plays, but it was like they were one team that and look at Kenny Pickett. He had thrown a couple of touchdowns, 8 interceptions. They were 1-3. That was nothing to write home about. But they were not a big play offense. Here, this where the Steelers were. Okay, this is why this is frustrating. Remember I told you the Ravens are a lot better? Look, I thought this is a great opportunity for the New Orleans defense to get off on the right foot. The Steelers offense, they were one before last in scoring offense. They were scoring 15 points. They missed a couple of field goals, so they could have had 26, but they only had 20. And their longest touchdown had been from 8 yards out. In other words, Christian, they didn't know like chunk plays, no splash plays. They were the only offense in the league without a touchdown scored from outside the red zone. So like when they looked against us, I don't know, that they probably got a little more confidence going into next week. I don't even know who the Steelers even playing next week. They probably got more confidence now playing against the Saints heading into next week.
He's Bobby Hebert. I'm Christian Garrick. We're just getting started here.
Man, I got to take off my shirt. I'm hot in here. I'm sweating. It's like it's cold outside, but it's hot in here. The Saints are making me hot. Hot in a negative way.
This is the Point After here on the Community Coffee New Orleans Saints Radio Network.